We are now joined by N3 Toll Concession Chief Operating Officer Thania Dhoogra to further discuss the preparations for high traffic volumes as holiday makers travel back from KwaZulu-Natal on the country's busiest national road route. And she joins us now via our video link. Ms. Dhoogra, thank you so much for your time this evening, ma'am. Maybe let's start off here. I mean, we just spoke to our reporter, Mbalendle Mthetho, just a few moments ago, and she's stationed at the Hook Toll Plaza. Seems as if, the traffic is beginning to pick up somewhat, but it's still calm. What's the situation looking like on the N3?
Well, good evening to you and to all of your viewers. To be honest, though, the traffic, as we're seeing it even at the Hook Toll Plaza, is beginning to subside. It has been very busy throughout most of the day, with highs of about 1,700 vehicles an hour recorded traveling northbound through the Moira Toll Plaza, heading towards Gauteng, but we're starting to see that that's easing up a little bit, although about 1,000 vehicles an hour going through the Hook Plaza is still fairly busy. So many people out and about on the roads, and as has been said by a reporter, we are expecting that this will continue over the course of the weekend.
And Ms. Dhoogra, when it comes to your preparations, particularly over this weekend and going into the next, what is it looking like for those who will be travelling on the N3?
Well, we work very closely with all of the law enforcement officials and members of the road incident management system, emergency services, as well as our own route patrol services, and many of our other support partners who form part of that system have been fully deployed. They're all working around the clock to make sure that our road-using public reach their destination safely. There'll be highly visible policing. Motorists can expect to, be stopped at roadblocks and various other road safety initiatives that will be taking place. But obviously also with this high volume, you might find that the Road Traffic Inspectorate might implement additional traffic calming measures. For example, reduction of traffic traveling up strategic areas of high risk like Van Rieenen Pass. So we're just appealing to our motorists to please go back to those basics, follow the rules of the road, and particularly adhere to the instructions of law enforcement officials.
And talking about the behavior of motorists on our N3, maybe if you can also just give us an insight, have you reported or seen any major problems?
Well, unfortunately, what we have experienced is, that many motorists are just not adhering to the rules of the road, and that there's been a number of arrests for recklessness in the form of speeding, which obviously just increases the risk to all of the motorists out there and out and about. And again, why we're reinforcing that, please go back to basics, wear your seatbelts, make sure that you're visible by keeping your lights turned on. Follow this, or maintain a following distance, only overtake when it's safe to do so. These are all the fundamentals that we all know, and which if all of our motorists adhere to on the road, can ensure that everyone reaches their destination safely, but also we can ensure the safety of those emergency services teams who are out and about on the road doing their bits. They've been working throughout the holidays to make sure that everyone else reaches their home safely. We want them to also get home safely.
And Ms. Dhoogra, looking at the N3 and the adverse weather conditions that we've faced, particularly over the festive season, and how has that affected travelling on the N3? I mean, we also know that even the likes of Mpumalanga, that province is still expecting more rainfall tonight. How has this affected travelling on the N3?
Well, what I can tell you is that obviously the weather being as unpredictable as it has been, we've been keeping a close eye together with weather services and informing road users, but it definitely does add to the difficult driving conditions, and especially if road users are traveling at night or when visibility is poor, it means that they need to be even more vigilant and alert. And that places a toll on road users, so encouraging them to also stop more regularly, make sure that they're in a good driving condition. But, ideally we would recommend that they drive during daylight hours, but, weather being what it is, we can't really control that. So there I'd advise them to also please stay informed, which is what we're doing. We're keeping in touch with the weather services so that we can put out advisories to our motorists as and when things happen on our social media platforms like N3 Route on X. And they can also contact us on our 24-hour N3 helpline on 0800 63 4357, and they will keep them updated about everything that's going on the N3 toll road.
And before I let you go, I mean, a number of people will be traveling, be it this weekend or this coming week. What is your advice for those who will be preparing for their journey ahead?
Well, once again, just to reiterate that please be prepared, stay informed. Make sure that you check what's happening on the route by following us on X and keeping updated about what to expect on the route. Plan ahead, be prepared with additional supplies in the event that of any unforeseen circumstances happening, because crashes as well as the weather do contribute to delays and congestion on the route, and road users might then be forced to make unplanned stops. So, it's always best to carry additional supplies, but please keep in touch with us. Please follow the rules of the road. As I said, buckle up, keep your headlights on, maintain those following distances, and also remember that there's a big differential between heavy and light motor vehicles on the road, and truck drivers in particular need additional time to make those same maneuvers when it's safe to do so. Let's all please share the road responsibly and make sure that everyone reaches their destination safe.